Hello, boys and girls. It's so nice to see you. Today we will read What's the Time, Mr. Wolf? Written and illustrated by Carol Jones. Look at this picture. And the back cover too? I love these drawings. There's so much detail in them. What do you think? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Carol Jones. For Francis, Jock, and Emily Connolly. Happy reading, CJ. So we know who she dedicated the book to, even if we don't know who they are. This book is a peekaboo book. It has holes in the pages so you can see who's speaking and what's coming up on the next page. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? That's a rooster. And now through the peekaboo, we see the question. It's 8 o'clock, answered Mr. Wolf. Time for breakfast. Mr. Wolf climbed out of bed, stretched his lean, hungry body, and fixed his cold gray eyes on the plump body of his visitor. Rooster, he requested, could you and your friends go to the library to borrow me some new cookery books? He licked his lips. I'm planning a very special meal tonight. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 10 o'clock, answered Mr. Wolf. Time to go shopping. Mr. Wolf leaned on his garden fork and fixed his cold gray eyes on the firm flanks of his visitor. Goat, he asked, while I finish digging up the new potatoes, would you and your friends take this shopping list to the corner shop? He licked his lips. Don't forget the large bottle of tomato sauce. I'm planning a very special meal tonight. I'm not feeling too good about Mr. Wolf. What about you? Same question. Are you ready? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's probably a little later, right? Yep. He started out in the morning, and then it was 10 o'clock, and now it's noon. It's 12 o'clock, answered Mr. Wolf. Time to go swimming. Mr. Wolf put down his cookery book and fixed his cold gray eyes on the chubby legs of his visitor. Sheep, he said. Go with your friends to the beach and enjoy yourselves. He licked his lips. Could you buy a bottle of mint sauce on the way? I'm planning a very special meal tonight. Ooh, I don't know if the friends know what's going to happen. Do you? Ready? Here we go. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 2 o'clock, answered Mr. Wolf. Time to play. Mr. Wolf held his wooden spoon and fixed his cold gray eyes on the round rump of his visitor. Cow, he wheedled, would you and your friends go into the garden and play? He licked his lips. But first, can you go out and buy me a jar of hot mustard sauce? I'm planning a very special meal tonight. Here we go. Ready? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's Mr. Wolf? Yeah, good. Uh-oh. It's 4 o'clock, answered Mr. Wolf. Time to get ready. Mr. Wolf placed the salt and pepper shakers on the dining table and turned his cold gray eyes on the portly pink figure of his visitor. Pig, he insisted, go with your friends to the bathroom and wash yourselves. He licked his lips. But first, can you go out and buy me a bottle of applesauce? I'm planning a very special meal tonight. And here they are in the bathtub washing up for dinner. Do they know that they are dinner? Ready? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Good. It's 6 o'clock, answered Mr. Wolf. Time to begin the party. Mr. Wolf straightened his tie and turned his cold gray eyes on the smooth white feathered chest of his visitor. Duck, he asked, would you and your friends like to put on your party hats? He licked his lips. But first, could you pick me some oranges? I'm planning a very special meal tonight. And look, he's even got his own oranges in his yard on an orange tree. They look so happy in their party hats, don't they? Here we go. Ready? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's dinner time, answered Mr. Wolf. But no need to get anything. Turkey, he said, I have the cranberry sauce. And he's going to get them and kill them for his very special meal tonight. But because we like Carol Jones and she likes happy endings, the animals got away and had a party without Mr. Wolf. I like that ending. What about you? This is a great story, didn't you think so? I didn't like Mr. Wolf. What about you? See you next time, boys and girls. Bye-bye.